Hello everyone, my name is Anna, this is Clint. We are fitness specialists at the Canada Game Centre, and today we're going to be taking you through an equipment-based workout. So for this workout, there are 3 different circuits. Each circuit has 3 exercises. What you're going to do, start with circuit number 1. You're going to do 1 minute per exercise, and then you're going to repeat that circuit 3 or 4 times. After that, you're going to take a little break, move on to circuit 2, do the same thing, and then circuit 3, same thing. So for each circuit, there's 1 move that involves some sort of heavy lifting. There's 1 cardio move, and they're ending with a core move. So for equipment, you will need something that is relatively heavy, whether that be a barbell, a set of heavy dumbbells, or blue water jugs. Just make sure that you remember to tape up the little air pressure release valve at the top of the blue water jugs. Did I dump water on myself while I was testing this? Maybe, but you'll never know for sure. So you will also need some sort of light weight. In this case, we are using a paper towel roll, but you can use a light dumbbell, a book, or a water bottle. All right, don't forget to do your warm-up before you start this workout. The description has a link for the warm-up, so go do that right now. Once you do your warm-up, we're going to start in the workout. So our first circuit, our strength move is going to be a deadlift. So Clint is going to get prepped for his deadlift, and he's going to do it for 1 minute in 3, 2, and starting. So notice in his deadlift, he's keeping his back nice and flat, so he's engaging his core and his upper back. He's not letting himself round forward like so. He's also keeping a slight bend in his knees, and he's pushing his hips back. So to make this exercise easier, you're just going to reduce the amount of weight that you're lifting. So in this case, just dump some of the water out of the buckets. Nice. Clint, you have about 30 more seconds left.
Okay.
He's driving through his heels. He's still keeping that core tight, back flat. He's not worrying really about how many he's doing. As this is a strength-based exercise, he's focusing on form and perfect technique. All right, you got about 10 more seconds. After these 10 seconds, he's going to move right into a skater. In 5, 2, 1. Buckets go down, moving into a skater. So he's jumping laterally from side to side, and he's reaching down with his opposite hand toward opposite foot. Notice that he's nice and light on his feet, and he's making sure that he has his balance before he jumps the other direction. If he wants to make this easier, he's going to eliminate the hand. He's just going to jump lightly from side to side. To make it even easier, he's going to step and tap that foot back behind him for a little more balance. He's got about 20 seconds left. Chest is upright. Feet are always nice and light. Again, pick the difficulty that works for you. And 15 seconds to go. Beautiful. Beautiful. In 5, 3, 2, and rest. Now he's coming down to the ground. He's going to move into a plank pull-through. So he's going to have a good plank position, a nice straight line from his head all the way down to his feet. He's taking his small object and he's just moving it from side to side. So notice that his hips are trying to stay as still as possible. So to make it a little bit easier, he's going to widen his feet apart. Creates a little bit more stability and allows him to keep his hips even more still. To make it even easier, he's going to drop his knees down to the ground, do a kneeling plank, and move that object. Keeping in mind, he still has a nice straight line from his head down to his knees. And Clint, you have about 20 seconds left. Good. After a few more seconds, he's going to be coming up, and then you watching this video are going to be repeating this circuit 2 or 3 more times. In 3, 2, and rest. All right, so for those of you watching, back to the deadlifts, but Clint and I are going to move on and demonstrate circuit number 2. So once you've done circuit number 1, 3 or 4 times, move on to number 2. So for number 2, we're starting with a farmer carry. In 2, 1, and go. So for our farmer carry, Clint is simply walking back and forth, holding on to each of the water jugs. Again, to make this easier, he is just going to reduce some of the weight from the water jugs. Notice that he's keeping his core nice and tight, he's keeping his chest upright, he is not letting the water jugs move around too much, keeping in mind that because there's water in them, they're going to be harder to control than if you were just holding a normal set of weights. And Clint, you have about 20 seconds left. If you wanted to make this harder and you had a set of stairs in your house, you could walk these up and down the stairs. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Dropping those weights down, we're coming into a jump squat. So for our cardio move, Clint's going to start with a nice light jump squat, keeping his knees out over his toes, his chest forward, his core engaged, always, always having light landings on a jump. Beautiful. If he wants to make it easier, he's just going to switch into a regular body weight squat. Still pushing the hips back, chest stays facing forward, knees are still out over the toes, core is engaged. We're not worrying about weight for this because it's cardio based. And you have about 15 seconds left. After this, he's going to be coming down onto the mat for a core exercise. In 5, 3, 2, and rest. So for this core exercise, he's going to be moving right into a roll-up. So he's going to be holding a weight overhead. On his exhale, he's going to roll himself up into a sitting position, using his exhale to contract his abdominals and come up to this position. From here, he's going to inhale and then exhale to roll all the way back down. Again, inhaling at the bottom, exhaling to come up, inhaling at the top, and exhaling to go back down. To make it easier, he's going to bend his knees, bringing his heels to the ground. He's going to bring that weight so it's over his chest, and he's going to exhale, coming up into a crunch. So lifting his shoulder blades off the ground, and then inhaling back down. And you have 15 seconds left. Again, keeping that core engaged, using the exhale to get the weight up for 5, 3, 2, and rest. So that was circuit number 2. You're going to do that circuit 2 or 3 more times. And then we're moving on to our final circuit. So for circuit number 3, our first move is an overhead carry or an overhead walking lunge. So when you're lifting the weight overhead, you might want to dump out some of the water, keeping in mind, of course, that the water does make it harder to hold overhead. So go lighter than you might think. Also be careful when you're lifting it overhead to not strain the lower back, keeping core engaged the entire time. So Clint is going to start with some overhead walking lunges in 2, 1, and go. So keeping note that his knee is staying right over his front foot. He is not arching his back, so he's keeping his core engaged the whole time. He's taking nice big steps, but he's in control the entire time. Now, if you wanted to make this easier, he's going to switch into an overhead carry. So he's just going to walk back and forth. Again, still keeping the core engaged. We're not arching the back, so we're protecting the lower back. And you've got about 20 seconds here. Again, if you need to stop, dump out some more of the water, please do so. Find the weight that works for you. In 5, 3, 2, and weight can come down, carefully protecting the lower back. From here, we're going to move into a high knee Russian twist combo. So Clint's going to start with the weight in front. He's going to bring one knee up and bring that weight down to the outside of the knee. Reset to center, and then switch. So once he gets this movement, he can increase the speed however much he wants. Excellent. So it's a combination cardio and core, cardio. We've got about 20 seconds left here. Beautiful. Again, with control, feet are still light. If you wanted to make this easier, you could drop the weight and just do your hands, still bring them to the outside of your knee. In, 2, 1, and rest. Last move, final move in this workout is a plank walk around. So Clint is going to find a perfect plank position, and he's going to start by just walking his feet around in a circle. So his hands are staying in one place. Notice that he has a nice straight line still from his head all the way down to his feet. He's going to continue walking around in this direction, and the next time you do this exercise in the circuit, you're going to switch directions. But for this minute, he's just sticking with one direction. Excellent. If you wanted to make this easier, he's just going to hold a plank position. Still keeping that nice straight line, head all the way down to feet, wrists right under the shoulders, core engaged and breathing. For about 10 more seconds. In 5, 3, 2, and done. So again, repeat this final circuit 2 or 3 more times, and that's the end of the workout. Don't forget to cool down. There's a link for the cool down video in the description, so you can go do that now. And happy heavy lifting. Thanks for watching.